Oh, yeah.
Eclectic method.
Fugazi, Fugazi, it's a wazi, it's a woozy.
Bless and love, my lords. Welcome to another Red Lion interview. I'm joined here today by our co-host Dudley, and of course, it's such a pleasure to welcome and introduce to you guys Mr. Eclectic Method. Hello,
Hey
gentlemen.
guys.
How are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, nice to hear you, man. Nice to meet you on the voice.
Nice to meet you too.
Yeah. Let's
Very
go.
nice to meet you, sir. It's the first time we actually chat, but we have started messaging since you came into the space, basically around the time when I came in, more or less. So it's been a long time, right?
Yeah, I was a bit later than you. End of 2020.
Yeah, a little bit later, but still, what a crazy timeline and how many things have happened since then, right?
Insane. Yeah, it's become my entire life.
So, thanks for joining here with us today. I I had a deep dive at your career and before this interview, and I was really amazed about about your body of art and your achievements um, in the VJ and DJ industry. I don't know how to classify it. Would you say you are a VJ or a DJ first?
Yeah, it's hard to say now. I'm like a video remix artist. I call it
Hmm.
video music. Like not music videos, but video music.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, it is really unique, but why don't you please go ahead and give us some context and some insight about the origin story behind the eclectic method?
Yeah, so I started out like really young into like rock music and guitars and was like in rock bands as a teenager. And I guess when I was about 12 years old, I discovered Public Enemy and the Beastie Boys and sample-based music. And then I quit guitar and got into like electronic sampled music. And then when I was like 17 years old, like 1997, I saw Hexstatic and Cold Cut who made this music song video called Timber, which was a song made out of like chainsaws and chopping wood. It was like the first video song I'd ever seen, and after that, I just like converted to that, and ever since then, I've just been making like video music. So I was doing that just for fun, and then kind of in the early 2000s, mashups, bootlegs took off, and I was doing mashup videos for MTV Europe and touring as a DJ, but like I'd be DJing and playing video at the same time. So playing like mashups of hip hop and electronic music and rock and roll and everything. And then I moved to the States in like 2007 and started like getting more into movies and TV shows and working with like film companies and TV companies and tech companies also. Yeah, and then just into the internet as YouTube grew and viral videos became a thing and then crypto became a thing and yeah, just making weird stuff.
Oh, that is brilliant, man. I really, really enjoy like I was listening today I went raiding your YouTube channel, so I was listening to your playlist and stuff. Some absolute knee slappers in there, like the Wolf of Wall Street we just listened to. But I read somewhere that you started as a trio, and since then the trio broke up and you continued solo. Is that true?
Yeah, yeah. Eclectic Method used to be four people actually. Then it was
Four
three.
people.
Then it was
Okay.
two.
Hmm.
But for the last like 10 years, it's just been me. And
Is
it,
it
and
is it you became so good you didn't need the others?
no, it's more. We used to tour a lot, and like
Hmm.
I didn't like the being permanently touring, so I'd have other people play with me live.
Hmm.
And but the video production it was all me, and it became more. As time went on, it became more about remixing TV shows and making stuff for the internet.
You mentioned you were growing up in the 90s, and you mentioned 97, you were what you said, 17. Um,
Yeah.
so, just to give some context to the audience, in 1997, internet was not as big as it is today. Almost nobody had it. It was really difficult to get a hold of a lot of music. So it was also very difficult to get a hold of a lot of knowledge about DJing and remixing. How did you manage to do all of that, but on the VJ format and with videos as well so early?
I went and worked with people. Like I got really lucky and got into recording studios. I kind of quit school to go work in recording studios because I had hands-on like experience. I was just like an assistant, but then became like an engineer and like the tech engineer. But yeah, learning off other people in studios, and then I went on to work in like a TV company making documentaries in the UK, making documentaries like Channel 4 and BBC and stuff. And yeah, so I learned video editing off that. I never went to school for any of this stuff. I kind of just like went and worked for free at a company, and then that turned into a job.
Would you think that the younger generation has it much easier than you had it back then in order to do the same thing?
Oh my God, it's amazing now. I started learning cinema, like not cinema 4D, 3ds Max, like 3D software in 2000, 2001. And because you just had the manual, the only way you could learn was from the manual. So it's very hard to learn very complicated stuff. So I kind of gave up after 2 years and then started again a few years ago. And now you have YouTube and you can just learn anything. Could be any effect you want to do, anything in recording studios. In fact, I've probably learned more on YouTube in the last like 5 years on about sound engineering than I learned from like 10 years working in recording studios.
Yeah, it's YouTube is unbelievable. Everything I need to learn, I just ask YouTube, and there's a guy there ready to teach me. It's incredible, man. I wish I had that when I was younger to teach me the stuff that I would like to do. So, in a sense, I'm a little bit jealous of what younger people have access to nowadays.
But also, I think some of the things like long-winded things we learn are not going to be relevant anymore. Like you're going to be able to code just by telling the computer what you want to be coded. You're going to be able to create art by just running through artificial ideas from a AI and stable diffusion and that kind of stuff. So like a lot of the things that were long-winded and hard for us to do before will happen in seconds now.
Yeah, even with the text to image AI, it's unbelievable. For example, when we have a concept for a cover, sometimes we run it to see how the AI will picture it if it's something that it can be shown, and it makes a result in seconds. You know, you can have a sketch really, really fast. It's mind blowing just by text.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've just started using it to make video of like taking clips from movies and rock bands, feeding it into the AI, and then like make me something similar, and then making clips that are copyright free.
When would you say was the first time in your long career that you popped off?
Sorry, what was that last bit?
That you popped off, you know, like made some noise and people started to know about you.
It's like when I was in the UK in like 2003,
2000.
2004, like
Hmm.
making mashups. And I guess we were like selling a CD-ROM like in record stores. And yeah, it was bootleg because you didn't the internet wasn't that fast back then. You had to pay to stream video, so it was like
Yeah,
then and back then it was nightclubs. That's where it was like I had success. It was like
that's so nice and so old school. So it kind of started like in a neighborhood vibe, you know, like started small and and then spreading, right?
yeah, totally. All word of mouth, and then kind of stuff like the Sundance Film Festival picked up on what I was doing, and then asked me to like play the closing parties for Sundance, but remix Sundance movies into the closing party, and then that kind of started to lead to like working with more people in the United States.
Yeah, and since then, Cold Cut, YouTube, Fatboy Slim, Rick and Morty, Doctor Who, fish, and this is just a few names of the people you have collaborated with. I'm not even going to go ahead and read the brands. Everybody is in there. How did you manage to get in such an exclusive collaborations list with these artists and such a big sponsorships and deals and collaboration with the companies?
It was almost all the internet. Like before YouTube, it was not as easy. After YouTube, it was like I did videos for U2, and that was because U2's drummer saw my remix of the Entourage TV show on YouTube, and then just got his manager to call. And Fatboy Slim again, I made a video for fun of Fatboy Slim because I'm a huge fan of his. He saw it and then he put it on his DVD and he paid me after the fact. So I didn't actually make it for him, but then he made it an official thing. So it's like mostly the internet, mostly like people catch up on the internet because I'm like really really bad at business networking, and you can put me in a room full of like people and I'll just say hello, and then and then go home.
Yeah, and you are widely covered by big media all the time, like of course Red Lion, Rolling Stone, DJ Mag, The Guardian, Wired, and many many others. And you've also been to many live shows. So from your experiences in the showbiz, let's say, what was your favorite show? Let's say you've been to Colbert, I think, and some others. What was your favorite one and why?
I'd say there's like two different types of shows. So like one of my favorite shows would be playing like an illegal squat in Berlin called Rio, that was like crowded and sweaty and 4 in the morning and just amazing, and a screen where you just chuck a sheet over a wall. Yeah, like squat parties in Berlin, I've always really enjoyed. Like had great parties in Spain. And then like the other side of it, like not illegal raves, but like playing with Chuck D at the Toronto Film Festival, like that kind of. The Chuck D and Clyde Stubblefield, who was James Brown's drummer, so he's the guy who made the funky drummer riff, the drum beat that everyone samples from like Jay-Z to Busta Rhymes to everyone. So performing with them probably.
Wow. Do you still do sweaty clubs in Berlin?
I'll start doing it again. I stopped like doing so much because of COVID. The last party I did was in Barcelona, where I live now, for the
Oh, you lived in
historic NFT
Barcelona.
fest. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. We're gonna have a coffee this summer. I'm coming there.
Nice. Yeah, it's great here. Like the last like fun pool party I played was a few years ago here. But yeah, a few weeks ago or a month ago I played the historic NFT conference in Barcelona, which was really cool. All the Dada artists and people like Skrilla Ventura, a lot of like cool crypto artists. A lot of my friends came to town. It was good.
When did this happen in Barcelona, you said? When
Yeah,
was
about a
that?
month ago, I guess, maybe 6 weeks ago, and it was
Oh, wow.
3 day NFT conference. Yeah, ton of people, and I did a set that was like. So I also do kind of an audio visual set. So mostly I DJ in the metaverse now, and I'll do sets that are like I'll remix interviews of people like Ferocious or A Lot of Money, and these people make songs out of them, and then also take other crypto artists NFTs and make like rhythmical music stuff. Just so I can have sets that's like music videos and movies remixed, but also have a lot of crypto art culture in there. Like when Sam Bankman-Fried does something crazy, I'll do memes and remixes of that stuff, and yeah, crypto zeitgeist meme stuff.
Do you enjoy digital concerts more, or you prefer the real thing?
I'm really enjoying metaverse stuff now, just because there's more and more stuff we can do, and we're just starting to. I'm working with a guy called Neon Glitch 86, and we're doing a lot of events, interactive metaverse stuff. So we're working on events where the audience can come and be part of the performance, like trigger samples, trigger visuals, interact with objects that create sounds and games, but also have people sign up with their wallets and play team games. So if you have a Meebit NFT, you can compete against someone who has a grifter, or be in teams, have fun games, interactive making the metaverse more fun and making it more interactive and musical.
Yeah, that's really cool. This past Friday, we had here on our Founder Fridays, we had the CEO of Optophonia, which is a platform that is using the Unreal Engine and it's giving it to VJs, and basically they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So it's like you can manipulate graphics in real time on screen and 3D stuff, and yeah, it was incredible. And we were chatting about like the whole possibilities of how the shows and the musical shows are going to be heavily dependent on the visual element in the future, and people depending on the devices they are wearing, like glasses and AR enabled glasses, they will be able to see a different show basically. I think that's really, really interesting. And since you have been a pioneer on the medium of art visual music, let's say, do you think that we are still barely scratching the surface and things are about to get interesting, or you think it's the same type of performances will keep dominating in the future?
Yeah, so like a lot of the kind of metaverse stuff now has been happening since like Second Life in 2006, 2005. I think there's not a lot, it's surprisingly not a lot of new stuff. And at the same time, all this stable diffusion, augmented reality, AI stuff is zooming ahead. And so, yeah, I think it's about to change super fast. And I think the technology is about to become so that like anyone can create, make, and interact with each other in this kind of stuff. And I think so like the events you were talking about, like making live animations triggered by visuals and like maybe having DJs wearing motion capture suits that create animated visuals, that kind of stuff. Because at the moment, the events you go to in the metaverse, still a lot of the time they're just like kind of film
No,
DJ
not the
playing.
DJs, the VJs that are manipulating the audio visual experience while the music is going on, so they have knobs and stuff and they can do. He was I will show you later. It's really cool. I think I'm doing a really poor job at explaining it.
Yeah, yeah, but even the DJs, like their body movements could be turned into animation through like motion
Mm,
capture and stuff, and
oh yeah.
the
Yeah,
data
like
that
the
comes
model
off.
can be inserted inside the animation in real time and stuff, right?
Yeah, and just at the moment,
Wow.
we're still kind of watching DJs play on turntables, which is what we've been doing since like the 1970s, and I think that can change.
Yeah. But on the live side of things, the audio visual experience and VJs are not as famous. They are not like there is no festival that it's like, okay, we are going to have those VJs and people go crazy. It's always about the DJs and the acts and the live performances. But yeah, I think definitely that is really, really going to change. Because if you go to a festival and like the visual experience is like superior to anything else you've ever seen, then you want to go to every show. It really, really matters, right?
Yeah, totally. And like you say, like I think augmented reality is going to become a big thing. So like live events will be mixed with metaverse events.
Yeah, and he was saying something like generative art is also mixed, so you don't see the same graphics every time. So the people who go to the same events, like follow bands and stuff like that, it would be a different show for them every time, basically. I think that's really, really interesting, and an application for generative art in general.
Yeah, like art created by data from what Twitter's saying about your event, people posting photos, even just GPS data and what you know by people's wallets and what they're doing in the venue. You can create art from all of that.
Yeah, it's scary. I typed. I was playing it yesterday with GPT-3 chat feature, and I was like, write me a Vsauce video that's never been seen before. and it was actually perfect. I I read the whole thing.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's absolutely brilliant. I went down your YouTube upload history. You have been uploading on YouTube, I don't know, since when it started, since super early, right?
Yeah, I remember when YouTube started because before YouTube, you had to pay to show people videos. So if you uploaded the video, 100 people watched it, you had to pay like $10. You know, it's like so when YouTube started, it was like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah, I scrolled. It used to have the ability to show the videos in chronological order, like oldest, newest. But right now you have to scroll. So I scrolled all the way down, and I think your first video was Tony remixed, like from The Sopranos, right?
Yeah, yeah. That was the first one posted on YouTube. Yeah.
Was it okay? Are you a fan of the series, or why was
Oh
this the
yeah,
first
totally.
video?
I think I've watched the entire all seasons twice.
All right. So I guess Tony is your favorite, right?
Yeah, I actually walked past him once in the street in New York. It's like a moment. Yeah.
Oh wow. So from this first video, all the way to the latest one, SBF, that you did, we can see like the evolution of the craft in many levels, but the style and the attitude remain the same. So how do you explain your process? How do you have you created this amazing body of work?
So I think I make music the same way most people do, in that like I'll take a load of samples and I'll cut them into a bit, and then I'll like experiment with them and like jam with ideas. And in the times I've worked in recording studios with musicians, like a lot of them, that's the way they make songs. It's like some people have an idea in their head. Sometimes I have an idea in my head that's already completed, or most of the idea, but mostly you don't have an idea and you're just like trying loads of things out and then choosing the best bits. So, like, yeah, a best way to describe it is like fuck around loads and then choose the best bits and then starting turning that into a song. And yeah, and it's just something that's I've always found playing with samples and sound effects and instruments really fun. And it's yeah, I just never get bored of it.
But now you can do it 10 times faster than the first video.
Yeah, and now the augmented reality, I mean the AI, the stable diffusion is changing everything because you can do stuff like remove the music and change the vocals and make video clips that your own that look like they're from Terminator and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's amazing.
So when did you find crypto?
Crypto, I've had friends who are into Bitcoin and mining for years, but it always seemed way too complicated for me. I first started seeing it was, um, something when Beeple did it, his first stuff, and then I just tweeted that I was like interested in it, and like I just met a bunch of people through Twitter who were already following me, and I think like the first person was Pranksy, and so yeah, that was my introduction to NFTs, was like chatting with Praxi and like, what is it? How does it work? And yeah, it fitted with what I do really well because I don't really have an outlet for what I do. Like I've spent time DJing nightclubs, but I'm a bit too weird for the regular DJ stuff, and because it's the video remix, there's no real place for it, and so crypto's become this like home for me because I never fit in with DJs, I never fit in with film people, I never fit in with VJs, but crypto's like a bunch of weirdos, and there's a community here that the people who found each other and started making stuff together then like snowballed on. And so now I have like a group of artists who are amazingly fun to just make stuff with, and some of it's like NFTs and selling it. Some of it's we're just building metaverse stuff and building videos for fun and making art for fun. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Crypto is a band of outcasts. So you can definitely fit in no matter who you are. And also for me, in many cases, I didn't feel like I fit in. almost all my life, but in crypto and NFT, I feel fine, and I meet amazing people every day. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that. When uh, when you found NFTs, basically you entered crypto, right? So NFTs was the thing that captivated you to join the movement, right?
Yeah, I basically got $20 on my wallet and then started messing around. Yeah.
Oh wow, wow. Um, and that's the thing, like even since you were into technology, you were into art and everything, you had tech savvy friends. But yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum before NFTs was not as appealing, but since NFTs came out, um, people were more attracted to that than just trading shitcoins. I mean, some people love trading shitcoins, but I think most people love content and they love digital ownership, and it's something they really can understand. And it definitely changes lives, right? Has your life changed since you got into NFTs?
Yeah, I've pretty much given up everything else and just do crypto and crypto culture. I think the thing with crypto that I noticed for me personally was that word of mouth still exists because there's a community of people who are into art. So you can, if you convince one person you're good at art and they like your stuff, they'll tell five other people. Whereas everywhere else, it's become just so algorithmically driven that unless you please the algorithm, you can't succeed. So I can go on YouTube and get thousands of views, but I have to remix Donald Trump or Alex Jones or like really poke the negativity and give feed the algorithm what it wants, which is sadness and hate. And so yeah, the crypto art like frees you. The other way to do it is like when I was in the States, I was like around a lot of the huge DJs, and a lot of them they buy the attention, and that's how you get big initially. Is like there's famous DJs who have 100,000 Facebook followers in a Mexican town with 10,000 citizens, and it's all like bought attention. And so, yeah, I think crypto bypasses that because lived on Twitter and people talk to each other in DMs, and the algorithm can't do anything about people talking to each other in DMs.
Yeah, this is I love it. What are your influences in art and music? What are your favorite names and some of the artists that you really enjoy to listen to?
Like old stuff like Fatboy Slim, The Prodigy, Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, a lot of that sample based music, DJ Shadow.
Oh
In turn,
yeah, yeah. That was my jam when I was 17. Shadow, DJ Shadow, Fatboy Slim also, yeah.
yeah, like amazing sample based music. People that turn samples into other stuff. And then for like art, it's kind of movies because I'm so led by remixing, stuff like Stanley Kubrick, a lot of classic sci-fi, Terminator, The Matrix, all these kind of obvious things, but that like
Star
are
Wars, I
beautiful
see a
visuals.
lot of Star Wars on your YouTube.
Yeah, I think I've done like 15 Star Wars remix. And when Star Wars was owned by Lucasfilm, they used to be really cool and they'd like share the remixes and it'd be on StarWars.com all the time. But now it's owned by Disney, they're no fun.
Oh yeah, the force is strong with you, man. I love and the Alex Jones you mentioned earlier is an absolute banger. We will play
Yeah,
it on the
so
outro.
So the Alex Jones thing, I made it, and then he played it on his show every morning for like a year or two. And then so I pick up Alex Jones fans who think I like him. I hate him. He's an arsehole. He's a terrible person. He's a terrible human being. So I made the whole thing as a joke to take the piss out of him, but then he embraced it and played on his show every morning. And then I picked up a bunch of his fans who thought that I was an Alex Jones supporter, but then they slowly realized like I'm not the kind of person who supports Alex Jones, and then they get angry with me, and that's why my DMs are blocked.
Okay, this is really funny, man. So you made the video, right, to make fun of him, but they liked it so much They were playing it for a year on their show. Is that right?
Yeah, he played it like every day for a year. He might still be playing it, honestly.
Okay, that's really cool, man. I mean, like, yeah, that's amazing. I mean, your art is really cool, and yeah, I mean, you had something to show in mind, but that's not how they perceived it, you know? Oh my God. So they thought you were glorifying the character, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard with him because his character is crazy. So I was just taking the craziest bits and putting them together so that they rhymed.
Yeah, so he's pretty much done now. I think he has to pay like $1 billion or something insane.
Yeah, he announced bankruptcy.
Yeah, I saw him also on Channel 5. That was really cool also. Yeah, but yeah, that Alex Jones track is an absolute banger. I didn't know that story, man. That's so insane. That's really something. Do you also collect any art?
Yeah, yeah, totally. A lot for my friends. A lot of classic collections. You know, the obvious X copy. A lot of money.
Hmm. So these your favorite stuff to collect is, I would say, the OGs.
Yeah, and I like other people doing audio visual stuff, like Hexstatic guy, Cold Cut, the guy who made Timber. That's why I got into all this. He's been doing audio visual NFTs. They're really amazing. There's another guy called Arthur who's part of Cold Crypto Art. His stuff's really amazing. Vector Meldrew and his project Broadside and all those people, a lot of the same people are like kind of into the music side of crypto. I really gel with them, love their stuff.
Yeah, it would be great to have them on the show and you know, put on the spotlight versatile artists like you guys that do a lot of stuff audio visually, and yeah, I think it would be interesting to get to know everyone.
Yeah, so we
Uh,
run a thing called Cold Crypto Art, which is basically like a group of artists, but we don't sell anything. It's just for fun. X copy design the logo, and the thing comes out of like an X copy idea and a project like Cult News that me and a lot of money and X copy used to do. But we also like as part of the cult, we do live metaverse events. So everyone who performs does stuff that's crypto based. It's not just like a DJ playing. It's crypto art, it's crypto culture, and there's a few of us like Vector, Arthur, and the Angie Taylor, who's like an OG too. Um, yeah, Kazlab, a few artists, and we'll play for 4 or 5 hours at different metaverse events all the time.
oh wow, that's really cool. And uh, are you going to be in that too, right?
Yeah,
Okay, okay. And on what is sorry, one sec. Sorry, my phone started ringing. Apologies for that. It can happen. Twitter Spaces is only on the phone. How terrible. We have to wait for Elon Musk to fix everything. Anyway, um, so when you came into the NFT space, doing something really really different, how easy you found it to establish again yourself from scratch into the space? As you said earlier, what you do is completely different, doesn't fit on DJ VJs. So how did you manage to do it on the NFT space?
to be totally honest with you, I find it really easy, and I think it's because I've found the real world really hard. So, like, all the stuff you've named, like, really did just come through the internet, and I've been so bad at networking in real life. But on the internet and chatting and making friends, I find it really easy. And I think I got really lucky also because I got in at the tail end of 2020 before it became big. And like the first people I became friends with were Pranksy, A Lot of Money, X Copy, Coldy, and these people like were key in it. They told me a lot of like important information. And then the final thing is like I don't just because of what I do with the remixing stuff, I can make stuff that other people embrace as their own thing. So if I remix an artist like Josie Bellini's interviews, she'll share it and then it becomes like a shared piece of art that we both enjoy. So I guess I do like a ton of stuff that I don't sell, but is for crypto culture, like remixing crypto artists, doing events, all this kind of stuff that isn't just doing that. And that's really helped. I think if you're just doing NFTs and you're just selling stuff, it's like it gets boring quick. It's just like buy my thing, buy my thing, buy my thing, you know. So it's like I try to be around and do stuff about everything from like making a song about X copy to making a song about Sam Bankman-Fried.
Yeah, that's really nice, man. And that's the thing. You need to be actively participating in the community in any way you can, and yeah, you will find your belonging there. That's for sure. Um, and as you said, when you came into the space, it was much less people, so it was also much easier to meet all those big names that you mentioned.
Yeah, and I think also that like the remixing people, it became really easy to make friends because I think if you DM and reach out to people, it can be a bit like cold and weird. Then if you make a remix of someone, they're always like, "Oh man, I love the song you made about me." It's like, and you instantly
Oh
do the
yeah,
chat.
it's a social hack, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's like it's my it's my one weird thing.
Yeah, yeah. Where do you upload your work, and where do people can buy your work right now? Which platforms are you using?
I'm pretty much like Twitter is where I'm putting everything. Sometimes YouTube, but just to store it. I started using manifold contracts, but to be honest, I don't have anything for sale at the moment. It's all sold out. Um, and but I will be. Yeah, I kind of mint like every month or two. Sometimes a one of one, sometimes a collection. There's stuff on secondary, and like I've done a few open editions where there's like a lot of copies out and they're not so expensive, like a Colt Dollar and one remix video called Drink and Drugs. But yeah, I've started getting really into manifold contracts because you can mint your own piece and then just promote it on Twitter and control your own thing. Like I've had a lot of fun on Super Rare and these big platforms, but the I think the world's changing and you really just need to be able to like find your community online.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. I love it that you are going on your own contract. I think it's going to be interesting because this concept of artists launching their own contracts has been around since forever. And at the beginning, it was very overlooked. People were minting on Rarible General, on OpenSea General. A lot of amazing work has been lost due to poor knowledge. But now people are more informed and it is valued more, I think, for artists to launch on their own contract. However, it does not reflect on the market value. Super rare mint always carries a specific premium. Why do you think is that?
The contract's good, and the the history of it is good. It's a good collection. It's like a collection. All the one of ones that are inside it. Um, I just think it's like at the height of the market, being featured on the front page of Super Rare was really important. Doing that in future will be important. Right now, it kind of feels like well, things are slow. That the only attention really is the attention you're getting on Twitter anyway, if you know what I mean. So your audience is your audience, and you can take them to Super Rare or take them to Manifold. Yeah, I don't know. I think these platforms will become important again, but right now the important thing is to just like build community.
Yeah, absolutely. And how do you see the whole market through your own experience? Like you came into the space, it was pretty much dead, then it pumped to the absolute moon, and then it fucking died. And here we are, hanging on. Of course, the hardcore NFT people will be here no matter what. But how was the experience for you on the first time?
Yeah, well, it was amazing, and I'm still really lucky. I think also like I've had one time in the United States where I made a really good chunk of money, and then I surpassed that just last year with crypto art, and it was so that experience was amazing. I think the thing with me is like I got used to, live in Barcelona. It's not expensive like New York or London. So the kind of money making in crypto art, it goes a long way here. Right now the market's down, but then again, the last few months have been pretty good in terms of like still good money and good work and cool stuff going on. And yeah, I don't know, like the last 4 or 5 months of bear market have been some of the most fun of my life, in all honesty.
Yeah, it's been interesting. For me also, it's been more work and more running than it was on the bull market. Like there's more action and adrenaline right now. There's more on the line, and I love it also. It's not about where the market is, it's about where you are, and if you're having fun doing what you're doing, then you can be happy, I believe.
Yeah, I didn't
Um,
fully understand it when I got into it, and now I understand what a cold wallet is, and I understand the power of memorizing a
yeah.
seed phrase and owning the assets from your memory, and the power of smart contracts and the importance of smart contracts, like the future of provenance, and through the smart contract, the future of like bonds being settled on smart contracts, insurance, everything. So it's like now it's more like I've drunk the Kool-Aid and I'm totally convinced that this is the future. So I'm not going to go back to like YouTube or trying to do like old ways of distributing media.
Yeah, but it's necessary also. Everything has a function, but if you have a choice between NFT and crypto native solutions and Web 2, I think choosing the Web 3 is smarter, especially right now.
Yeah, it's just future proofing yourself. I mean, all that stuff is still the same. If you want to go out into the world and you want to be a famous artist, borrow $100,000 and spend it on buying ad sales buys and attention and media hype, and you will succeed.
Hmm. Do you think that what people listen to is the result of social manipulation and attention, control of attention, rather than what is actually people are listening to?
Yeah, so this is the funny subject because it's like there is a lot of good music out there, but at the same time, I mean, it's fairly obvious that algorithms manipulating people. I mean, there's studies done about it that show that Facebook is convincing young people to commit suicide and stuff. Like, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is all like proven. So, like, are people being pushed in a certain direction by the algorithm? Yes, 100%. The attention stuff, like, I think good stuff is making it through, but then it's funny when people talk about pump and dumps in crypto, they're like, "I people made this seem like it was big, but it wasn't." It's like that is the entire media industry. There's definitely like pay to play at radio stations that's been going on for decades. And like I was mentioning earlier, like I know firsthand of DJs who have bought Facebook followers to seem big, and that's like, yeah, that's it's definitely like it's not everything is cream of the crop rising to the top.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely translates. It's same shit, different bucket basically. Pump and dump in the crypto is like with a shit coin. In the music industry, it was with a single or a one-hit wonder or something. Of course, not always, but I can see the parallels and I can see what you mean. There's also a pay to win element. However, I would like to be devil's advocate here. And since there are many music platforms like SoundCloud and YouTube, Spotify, and all of those platforms, a lot of names have been established through them, and a lot of music has been discovered that would never make it out. And the more we are going into the future and with Web3 and transparency, we can see that the songs that the people like and listen to are the ones that are being promoted. And I think that's fair. Um, However, the cycle cannot be, a never-ending loop of the same people. So I don't know how it will be, but
Yeah, this is what I mean about word of mouth over algorithm.
hmm. So when you hear a banger, like the first thing you do is you just DM it to a friend, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's what I do always. Um, Dudley, hello, are you still here?
Hey, I'm here. Hopefully.
Okay, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was just checking if you have any questions
No, I
for
was.
mhm,
I'm fully deep dived in some backlog
yeah.
work. Sorry,
Okay,
guys.
okay. I was just checking on you, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Check on me if I'm still alive.
Yeah, okay.
You don't want to lose me.
Fantastic. Yeah. All right. So, what plans have you got for the future and 2023? What parties for the end of the year you are planning? So, we would like to self-invite ourselves in a metaverse party or something.
Oh yeah, so three parties. First one, Tuesday, 13th, 8 p.m. UTC, X Copies party is the Grifters anniversary. It's going to be in the Griff bar and also on X Copies Discord. We're doing like full crypto audiovisual set. I'm also, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, there's going to be some special stuff there. You definitely would want to be there if you could. On the 23rd, we're going to do a cult Christmas party in the Cult Temple, another metaverse party, and we'll do a New Year's Eve party too. So those are the next, few metaverse events.
Okay, for sure we will be attending. That's going to be so interesting. You said the X-Copy party is on the 16th, then
13th.
26th,
13th. It's on
13th.
this coming Tuesday, 8 p.m. UTC.
Okay, all right. So everybody, you better be there. There's gonna be surprises and immaculate vibes from the Vibe Master, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be super cool. There'll be some special stuff we haven't made public yet.
Okay, fantastic. I think we're gonna wrap it up here, man. It's been an absolute pleasure talking with you, and thanks for coming into the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
think I have one idea. Maybe we should have
Yes.
some mashup or some special track for our roastock. I think that's
Oh
coming
yeah, yeah,
at the spring. So we will get in touch, and we need to have some
yeah.
Red Lion special tune, or we make some
100%.
collab. Yeah, that's it.
Send me some video clips.
But yeah, he also, man, thank you so much for collaborating with us so early on with the Gazette. It was like we just were getting started, and thanks for being such a good champ and doing the drop with us.
Oh, thank you, man. No, I'm so
Yeah,
happy
and the
I
drop
have
is
those
amazing.
NFTs.
Also, it's one of my favorites still on the collection, and I
Thank
was
you.
like, what the hell? We just started. We're two dudes, from the
Mm.
internet, and there's like Eclectic method going to make a drop with us. Like, I was really
Yeah, we were so
excited.
happy.
I was like, well, yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you.
Right.
All right, thank you everyone for listening. Thanks for joining here, Raul, DJ JD, TI, Stephen, the Beat, everybody who is here. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we have another amazing interview with Godmin, creator of Heaven Computer. Thank you so much for listening. Take good care. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys. And one last banger from Eclectic Method featuring
Let's
Alex
go.
Jones.
Let's fucking go.
Let's
Play it.
go.
Play it.
George Washington, baby. Just wait till I liberal everybody. George Washington, baby. Ooh, boy, I tell you what, get ready. George Washington, baby.